So I added this to the all hands meeting. So every first meeting of the month, Ryan will share some thoughts on personal development. So I have some thoughts I want to share with you. Is everybody in the meeting?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, great. All right. I just want to make sure you can see my screen here. All right. So I'm calling this an introduction to personal development. So the first thing I just want to share is why am I talking about this? But before I talk about sort of my why and my motivation, I want to just talk briefly about what personal development is. So this is like the dictionary definition. So personal development or self-improvement consists of activities that develop a person's capabilities and potential, build human capital, facilitate employability, enhance quality of life, and facilitate the realizations of dreams and aspirations. So that's the definition of personal development. With that sort of definition understood, I can tell you a little bit more about why I want to talk about it. And the simple reason why I want to talk about it is because I have benefited immensely from studying personal development and applying personal development principles into my personal life. And as your employer, I have a special opportunity to be able to share some of this information with you. So there's sort of a selfless component of why I want to talk about this, but then there's two selfish reasons why I want to share this information with you. The first is if you improve your skills, abilities, motivations, attitude, I'll benefit as your employer because you'll become more productive and produce more value for my business. But then the second selfish reason that I want to share this with you is because it's very fulfilling to me. It's very fulfilling to get to invest in other people and share information that's helpful and hopefully make an impact with the short time I have on Earth. So that's why I want to share it with you. So I'll tell you a little bit about sort of my history with personal development. So this guy, this is my grandfather. His name is Ray, and this is me at age 14, probably. So when I was 10 years old, I moved in with my grandparents. My mom, my brother, and I moved in with our grandparents. It was shortly after my mother divorced my father. She was also unemployed, so we had no money. So we went and lived with my grandparents. And my grandpa is the first guy that introduced me to some of the concepts of personal development. And by doing so, he sort of radically changed the course of my life. Near the end of middle school, sort of started high school, I was kind of getting off track. I started sort of failing some classes. I started smoking weed. I started hanging out with some kids that were kind of rough around the edges. And my grandfather sort of saw this, stepped in, taught me about some of the personal development concepts that he had applied in his life, and encouraged me to apply them in my life and just totally changed the trajectory of my life. So I'm really grateful to my grandpa. My grandpa was involved in a business, or is involved in a business called Amway. Is anyone familiar with Amway? Anyone hear of Amway? Okay, yeah, so I'll tell you a little bit about Amway. And I'm not involved in Amway. Amway is sort of known for aggressive recruiting. So whenever people bring up Amway, sometimes people are like, I'm not a part of Amway. I'm not here to recruit you in anything. But Amway is what's called a multi-level marketing business. So essentially, when you get involved in Amway, there's two ways to make money. The first is selling their products, and they make like vitamins and toothpaste and beauty products and energy drinks and stuff like that. The second way you make money in Amway is by recruiting other people, and you get a cut of their sales. So it's kind of known as like a pyramid scheme. Some people call it that. I don't know if that's an accurate description, but anyways, in Amway, one of the things that they do is they invest heavily in the people that they recruit. They host conferences. They have like CDs that they send you to develop your sales skills, to develop your personality, your ability to talk persuasively. And the reason that Amway does that is because if you become a more developed person, you're more likely to sell more Amway products, and you're more likely to recruit other people effectively. So Amway has a selfish intention in doing this, but the byproduct is you develop all these skills that you can transfer into other areas of your life. And so that's really what my grandpa did. So he was involved in Amway. They taught him these skills, these attitudes, these philosophies. And then he was able to, develop success in a lot of other areas of his life from what he learned in Amway. He also introduced me to Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn is a sort of business and life philosopher. He's written a bunch of books, done a bunch of talks. I brought in one of his books that he wrote. This is 7 Strategies for Wealth and Happiness. Very small book. Highly recommend you read it. I was looking through it this morning, and I actually read it back in 2016. That was the first time I read it. I also have some notes here that I took from the book. If anyone wants to read those, I'll leave this on the table. But he has a bunch of talks on YouTube. Highly recommend you check out Jim Rohn. I'm going to try to keep this brief, so I might start talking a little bit faster. I wanted to introduce you to Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Has anyone ever heard of Maslow's hierarchy of needs? Everyone's sort of nodding their head. So Abraham Maslow, he was a psychologist, and he wrote a paper in 1943 called The Theory of Human Motivation. And Abraham Maslow suggested that most humans have a similar set of motivations, and he sort of divided them into 5 different categories. So he has physiological needs, safety and security, love and belonging, self-esteem, and self-actualization. And his theory suggests that the needs here are ordered by level of importance. And if you have a need that's not being met on any of the prior levels, it's difficult to move up into the higher levels. So for example, if you have physiological needs that are not being met, like if you don't have air you can breathe, or food you can drink, or water you can drink, it's very difficult to start thinking about being creative, experiencing your life purpose, developing inner potential, right? And so when we start talking about personal development, I think it's important to review this hierarchy of needs and realize that if you have one of these basic needs that aren't being met or that you're having trouble meeting, it's very difficult to move up into like developing life purpose or, you know, some of these more esoteric concepts. And so, you know, you can start with your physiological needs. Obviously, you need to be safe. You need to have a place to sleep, food to eat. Safety and security, that's, you know, being employed, being healthy, having family. Then you have love and belonging. So do you have good friendships? Do you have good relationships with your family? Do you have a sense of connection to other people? Developing your self-esteem. Are you worthy? Do other people respect you, and do you respect other people? And then you can move into more self-actualization. So am I the kind of person I want to be? What do I want my life to be about? Those kinds of things. So why should you consider personal development? So my belief is that your personal achievements, everyone here who's here with me in person and listening to this call, your personal achievements and quality of life have unlimited potential. And you have, whether you believe it or not, the ability to change the course of your life through your attitudes, decisions, and habits. A lot of people will view hyper successful people like Bill Gates or Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk. And it's tough to really imagine that those people are people, like that they're human beings.
That they're normal.
They feel like
people.
They feel like they're like there's something else, and I'm a normal person. And I think the truth is that that's not the case. They are normal people. They might have really crazy and rigorous routines and goals, and you know, like maybe an insane addiction to achievement. But there's not as big of a chasm between you and that person as you might think. And whatever you think your current capacity is right now, I think that is self-imposed and not realistic, and that you can achieve way more than you think is possible. I want to touch briefly about locus of control. So locus of control is a psychological concept that refers to how much a person believes they can control the events in their life. So you either have an internal locus of control or an external locus of control. So, and this is a personal belief that everyone has. And I would encourage you to sort of think about this and think about what you think your locus of control is. So some people believe that they have an internal locus of control, that their actions determine what happens in their life, and that their current circumstances are a result of either actions they take or actions they didn't take, or things, it's their fault. Someone who has an external locus of control is someone who believes that their current life circumstances are a result of things that have happened to them or things that are happening in the country or in the economy, and that their current circumstances are not necessarily a result of the actions they've taken, but of things that have happened that they did not have control over. I don't think I can say whether or not it's true or not true that your current life circumstances are a result of things that have happened or things that you've done. I think it's a mix, right? I think there's some things that happen that you can't control, but then I think what you can control is what you decide to do about them. And I think that the more you can shift your locus of control to an internal locus of control and believe that your life circumstances are a result of things that you're doing or not doing, I think the more effective you can be. I'm going to give everyone some homework. So this is another sort of introductory personal development concept. This is called the Wheel of Life. And so this is a way that you can sort of think about success in different areas and sections of your life. And you know, whenever people think about like someone who's successful, the default is always to go to financial, right? And I think that one of the reasons that finance and money is like the default way that most people think about success is because it's measurable, right? You can count how much money you make, how much money you have saved, what your net worth is. But something like a successful spiritual life, that's a
non-tangible thing.
It's much harder to measure. Exactly. Like, you know, God or the universe doesn't give you like spiritual points that you can add up and compare to others like you can with money. But I think that it's important not to discount those other areas of your life. And the goal with the Wheel of Life, right, is to create a wheel that rolls. So if you have, let's say, excellent, you know, career success, excellent financial success, but then like no spiritual success and you're not physically healthy, your wheel will, you know, kind of be floppy if you imagine it rolling. And so the goal is to develop, if you think that this is a worthy goal, a wheel that rolls. And so there's this test that you can take. From this guy. His name is Tony Robbins. He's pretty famous for doing personal development stuff. He wrote a book called Awaken the Giant Within, I think in the 90s. It was pretty popular. But he has this Wheel of Life test that you can take. I'm going to take it and I'll share my results with you guys. If you want to, please take it. That's your homework. If you want to share your results, great. If you don't want to share your results, that's fine too. But this will give you an idea of how your current life circumstances are and maybe an area in your life that you want to set goals. So that's been an introduction to personal development. Here are some of the things that I am thinking about talking about in some of these future monthly discussions. So how to set goals, how to create good habits and break bad habits, how to improve personal relationships, how to save and make more money, how to invest, how to improve physical, mental, and emotional health, how to design a balanced life, how to mentor and teach people, and how to develop cultured tastes. So that's what I wanted to share. Thanks for letting me share it. And I hope that, you know, I feel a bit of imposter syndrome from sharing some of these topics because I'm not Bill Gates, and I don't want you guys to think that I feel like I have this amazing life or something like that. I'm a student of these principles as much as I am sort of conveying the information, and I'm sort of learning a lot of this stuff as I go too. But I found a lot of these concepts to be extremely helpful with my personal life, and so that's why I wanted to share them.
Awesome. Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
Thank you. I really like it. I appreciate
Thank
it.
you, Ryan.
Cool.
Yeah, thank you for sharing, Ryan. And I completely agree. My personal point of view, right, really quickly, is that, yeah, you are in control of your situation, and a lot of things can happen around your life. And I can speak by myself. But I think that the decisions that I made and things that I try to overcome or try to continue learning and do a lot of things that are around me or something that I can continue doing is improving my lifestyle, for telling you in that way. So as I mentioned, Ryan, because he already knows, I always tell him that the opportunity that he gave me changed my life completely. So I really, really appreciate that. And I know I can speak a little for Tari. She is doing a little better in that situation as well, and that's something that I just wanted to continue like showing or sharing with her. So that's something that I just wanted to say thank you once again, but I just wanted to share with everyone. So yeah.
Totally, 100%.
Cool. Thanks for sharing, guys.
Thank you. That's awesome.
All right, cool. Well, it's 11:06. We'll wrap up the meeting. Thanks for listening. But yeah, I hope I can share the, you know, some information on these topics at least once a month.
Okay.
Okay. Have a great day.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, Ryan.
Okay,
Have a
take
great
care.
Bye.
day.
Bye-bye
Have
now.
a great day. Bye.